Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Guys, I hope you're staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Smash the like button on this video. Let's get the likes of this video up. Guys, what an epic live stream. Wow. We went in that live stream. When I mean we went in that live stream. That was one of the best live streams. Wow. What a live stream that was. Unbelievable stuff. There's marathon as well, over 3 hours again. You know, thank you for everyone that joined. Thank you for everybody that came in and contributed. And you know, first time the room was full. I couldn't get people on. It was packed. You know, I think Steven's right. I might have to start vetting it now because I was a little bit disappointed early on in the live stream what happened. I wasn't expecting that to happen again. But, you know, what you've got to understand is my platform's a platform where anyone can come on and say what you want. But I just feel like at times we got to be careful what we say. Because remember, things are very sensitive in today's world. So, yeah, we just got to be careful what comes out, you know. Just, you know, I don't mind. I think we need to stick to boxing rather than talking about external issues and stuff. I think we should stick to boxing and just debate fights and splits, and we can argue about that, no problem, but just keep all of the other stuff out of it. I just think it makes it just keeps, you know, the channel clean and stuff. So yeah, good stuff. Really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great debate. Nelson put in a great viewpoints. Ray, Steven, I don't know what happened with Steven. I think he got a bit angry and left. The stuff about Gennady and Canelo, he wasn't. I don't think he was happy. So I think there was too many people on. So like it was difficult because everyone was trying to get their point across. I think, you know, 5-6 is about a limit. I think once it gets more than that, it might get a little bit too much. But you know, it was good. It was good. What I wanted to talk about in this video is I wanted to talk about Canelo's next fight. So. It looks like it might be Joe Smith and Artur Beterbiev. Like, well, Bob Arum hinted. He said he hinted. He's not sure. I saw the full interview. He basically said that he thinks that Canelo is going to look to fight Artur Beterbiev. I mean, sorry, not Artur Beterbiev. Joe Smith. It's late. Some of you said, Imran, you look tired, or you look like you're on one. It's because it's late at night. Right now it's 20 to 3. I'm filming this 20 to 3 because remember my live stream finished at 1, past 1, so it's 20 to 3. If we're getting back to it, Bob Arum said that it looks like Canelo's going to look to fight Joe Smith next, and we spoke about this briefly in the live stream. What do I make of it? I think it's good. I think it's great in the sense that I think he needs to acclimatize. Now I know Ray said that he's picking the weakest champion again. But I don't have a problem with that as long as he's going to fight the other champions. Because if he's looking to clean out the 175-pound division, I don't care how he starts off. Because in my opinion, he might even do a 2-fight deal with ESPN to fight Joe Smith and Beterbiev back-to-back. So he may fight Joe Smith and then fight Beterbiev and then fight Bivol. So do a 2-fight deal with ESPN where he has 2 fights on there. And Bob Arum said he's got a good relationship with Canelo. And he goes, he knows it makes sense for Canelo to work as a you know, free agent because of what position that Canelo is in boxing. It makes a lot of sense for Canelo to work as a free agent because he's going to make more money that way. I don't think it makes any sense for him to sign to any promoter. Why? He's such a big star. Every network would pay over the odds to get him on their network. So Canelo knows that this is probably the best way. This is probably the best way for him to make as much money as possible. Whereas, you know, the other way he was tied down to one promoter, one network. And I don't think he really liked that. I think he felt like some of his freedom was taken away. He had to fight certain fighters. Certain fights couldn't be made. But now, being a free agent, he can go to any broadcaster and fight whoever he wants. And this is what I mean. Now he's with the light heavy. Look, before he had to work with a PBC. Now he might go and work with ESPN. He's already got a good relationship with Eddie Hearn and DAZN, so that, you know, the Bivol fight can be made instantly. But, you know, he'll go and then work with Bob Arum. So I think this is perfect for Canelo. And I actually think if he fights the fights that we want to see, like the 175-pound Bivol, Beterbiev, and fights all those guys, I think it's going to be better for his legacy. Now, Obviously, if he doesn't fight those guys and he fights, which I think Canelo's going to be in the sport too long, and there's too many of these fights for Canelo not to fight them. I think there's so look at the names that people talk about: Charlo, Andrade, Benavidez, Bivol, Beterbiev. These are the names that people bring up. So if he fights any of those guys or a couple of all those guys before he ends his career, then I think he would have given us the fights we want to see. Now, he might not be able to fight all of those names, but even if he fights majority of them, which I believe he's got enough time. Look, what we've got to think about, there's not a lot of fighters that people want to see. These are the names that I mentioned, about 4 or 5 of them right now. Now, in a couple of years' time, there might be other up-and-coming kids that come up that people won't want to see with Canelo. But if Canelo fights these 4 or 5 guys now in the next 2 or 3, 4 years, that's Canelo's career virtually done. And then he may have a super fight with, who knows, an Usyk or someone. Maybe he might go up and do something crazy. We never know if he cleans out all these fighters, because potentially he could clean out the 175-pound division in the space of a year or above a year. Like by the time he's 33, he could be undisputed light heavyweight champion. I think he could clean out the 175-pound division easy. So, and even if he doesn't, even if he loses those fights, it would be sorted in the next 1.5 years, because there's only three fights. There's only Smith, because Canelo's only going to fight champions. He ain't going to fight nobodies. He's only going to fight the top guys. So he's going to probably fight the winner of Johnson Smith. Whoever wins that will probably face Canelo. So it's like an incentive for Joe Smith to win that fight, because he knows a Canelo fight could be after. And same for Johnson, because if Johnson wins, Johnson may have the Canelo fight after that. So whichever way you look at it, whoever wins that fight is going to get a huge payday. Well, according to Bob Arum, now we've thought that there's going to be a Macabu fight, which hasn't got good remarks, which a lot of people are not happy with. So maybe Canelo might have seen what the fans are thinking, and he's actually thought, you know what, we might just forget about that. Because hence why Canelo came out recently and said he didn't even know about, fighting Macabu. It's only because his trainer wanted him to do that. And he said, if my trainer wants me to do something crazy, then I don't mind. Let's go with it. I'm a fighter. That's what Canelo said. So Canelo don't mind fighting Macabu, but it wasn't on Canelo's mind. It was his trainer that mentioned it. And he said, if Eddie Reynoso wants to do something crazy like that, then I haven't got a problem with it. But Canelo never actually mentioned, or Canelo said he wasn't the one that wanted the Macabu, but he's okay if his trainer wants that. He's okay with going ahead with it. So I don't have a problem with Canelo fighting Macabu. I actually think it's a more dangerous fight than Smith, because I think Macabu's a bigger puncher, bigger guy. But the difference is, I think if he fights Smith, what he'd be showing is that he wants to unify the 175-pound division, because now he's not going to move to 175 pounds just to win a belt. Before, against Kovalev, I can understand him going up and winning a belt and then coming back down. That's understandable. Now he's going to have to find a home. And he's either going to have to find a home in the cruiserweight division or the light heavyweight division. And the cruiserweight division, those guys are too big. He's not going to be able to unify or become undisputed at cruiserweight. Those guys are too big. Bradius, look, Coley. Some of these guys are over 6'4", 6'3" guys. They're too big. The light heavyweight division, although those guys are bigger than him, those guys are still reasonably a size that Canelo can deal with. So that's what Canelo should look to aim to do, really, because if he fights Joe Smith, what he would be doing is he'd be showing his intention to unify the 175-pound division. I think it's more than within his grasp to do that. I think personally would favor him to beat all the 175. I know there's people that don't, but I think that division will be more dangerous for him, because those fighters are much better than the ones at 168, and I think they'll cause him a lot more issues. So he may have to take more time off, especially if he fights. I think Joe Smith would be relatively straightforward. I think apart from the power, which he does have, which Canelo will have to be wary of, because Joe Smith can punch, he's just a far better fighter than Joe Smith. Smith is very one-dimensional. Canelo would break him down, slow him down, and stop him. I don't really think the Smith fight would be... I think the Beterbiev fight would be dangerous, because Beterbiev's horrible style. He's a big, strong guy. He's going to be walking forward. He's going to be pushing Canelo back. That's a tough ask. That's a tough ask for Canelo. If Canelo can win that, you know, you have to take your hat off to him. And I think if he wins that fight, he'd unify the division, because I don't think Bivol will beat him. I've said it and I'm going to stick firm on it. I don't think Bivol is that much. I think Bivol's just like the other guys he's been fighting. He's faster on his feet, yes. He's fast on his feet, he's quick hands, but no power. Not the power that's going to trouble Canelo. And he's a smaller guy at 175. He's not a big guy. Yeah, I think Canelo is going to do a number on him. I think Canelo will break him down and probably stop him. I don't rate Bivol that highly. I've seen a couple of fights, just not been that impressed, to be honest. I think he's good, but I just think Canelo would beat him. I actually think that Beterbiev would beat Bivol quite comfortably. But you know, I saw an interview with Bob Arum, and he was saying, which was very disappointing to hear, that you know, Bivol's a boring fighter. You know, there's no value in the Beterbiev-Bivol fight, which was very sad to hear. But he said Bivol's very boring. People want to see action. People want to see Johnson v, you know, Smith. People want to see Beterbiev v Brown, but nobody wants to watch Bivol. He's terrible. And to be brutally honest, I saw his fights against Richards. It was terrible. It was a snooze fest. It was a horrible fight. Horrible fight. His performance wasn't that great. He did okay, but you know, I felt like he stunk the gaff out. You know, it wasn't impressive to me at all. It was a very, very, you know, going through the motions type of performance, and that doesn't do numbers. Now, obviously, Canelo, if he's got an ambition to become undisputed at 175, because Bivol's a champion, he'll get that fight. But that's not a fight that's going to do huge numbers, you know, in terms of Bivol's style. He's not the greatest fighter to watch. And Bob Arum's right. You know, Beterbiev is actually an exciting fighter because he comes to you, brings the fight. Whereas Bivol's, you know, I saw his fight against Richards, and that was not a great fight at any stretch. You know, it was a very, very poor fight. You know, some people rate him very highly. I'm not a huge fan because, like I said, I saw his fight and I wasn't that impressed. I think he did okay, and he might, I don't think he beats Canelo. I just can't see it. On what I've seen so far, Canelo's a different class of a fighter. And yeah, I think Bivol, he needs to do a little bit more in his fights. Maybe, you know, look to press the action a little bit more. But again, he's happy with what he's doing. He's a champion. He's a good fighter. I just don't think he beats Canelo. I don't. Style's a little, like I said, Bob Arum's right. You know, sometimes that's why these fights don't happen, the Beterbiev-Bivol fights, because they look at Bivol and they think, yeah, he's a tough fight, but he's not really bringing anything, like in terms of numbers and style. He's quite boring. People don't really want to see that fight. Nobody's really talking about Bivol and Beterbiev, are they? No one's really, like, we want to see that fight, the hardcores, but it's just not, it's not a great, like, it's not a fight that one you think, oh my God, that'll be a great. I think it would be, because I think Beterbiev would make Bivol work, and I think Beterbiev would push Bivol back and make it horrible. So I actually think stylistically, I think if Beterbiev has his way, which I think he will, I think it will be exciting, because I think Beterbiev will be breaking Bivol down. But if Bivol has it his way and he's doing his thing, then it'll probably be quite boring, because Bivol's like, he's not the most exciting guy to watch. He's, you know, unfortunately, that's just his style. That's just the way it is. And a couple of fights that I've seen, he's not the most exciting guy to watch at all. So, yeah, that's going to be a problem, you know. And he's relatively unknown, Bivol, which is, he's a champion. He should be known a lot more than what he is. But yeah, leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.